Hello everybody, this video is going to be very special because I'm going to be showing you my orb. Yay! Orb. Okay, so take a look. Ooh, pretty, right? All right, so let me just show you how it works real quick. Hey, I'm a priest now. Okay. Interesting. Well, let's try it again. I'm from Baltimore. Hun. Yeah, so basically this orb is essentially what Oh God, okay, that time was an accident. I've gotten pretty good at it, but sometimes it can be a little unpredictable. I still can't figure out how to get my eyebrows back. That was an accident. So hopefully eventually we will get a hold of that. So basically this orb allows me to travel through the multiverse. Isn't that crazy? It's very, very difficult to explain. So I'm just going to show you what happens when I do what I just did, basically. So I'm going to do it to you. Does that make sense? All right. Hold still, please. I feel like a fucking junkie crackhead hooker who's dying of a drug overdose. Everything. The reason why I decided to come back as YouTuber Dan Hentschel is because we felt like that this was probably the way that people were going to be most receptive. We have almost come back a lot of times since the first time. We were at first, you know, after the original thing happened, we were kind of like, well, let's just give it 1,000 years. You know, that seemed like a nice round number. And I shouldn't be here. This is not, I am not somebody who should ever be in a place like this, but I'm forced to. Look at this toilet. It doesn't, well, it was doing it a minute ago. It doesn't, when you sit on it, look, it shakes around. We planned 3 different possible days to go on this boating trip because I want to go on a boat. I like boats, but I can't afford a boat, you know. And I said, hey, if you take me out on your boat, I'll suck your cock. I didn't say that, and that didn't happen. Eddie. Cut that out, is what that meant. And that was when the next video where I was in a bad mood because the paramedics saved my life, and that produced a lot of complicated feelings. Anyway, long story short, I am pretty sure that I have cancer. I never would have pegged him as that kind of. I mean, I have pegged him before, but I never pegged him psychologically as that. I guess I should explain the context of that. Basically, you know, when you're in college, you're just, you know, I mean, you're curious about things. What? I think that I was in love with him for a brief period of time. I think so. And that's a very, very strange thing. You know, it's hard to process those emotions. You know, I consider myself a straight man. I am straight! I'm not gay! I'm not gay! I'm straight! And I like women! and women only. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but I'm not. I'm not. Okay? I just would really like to see people be a lot more open-minded about this kind of stuff. Because I shouldn't have to feel like I have to get on here and defend myself. You know, I still get people in my comments who say like, oh, you know, you're not gay, right, Dan? Because I made the couple videos a long time ago where I was like screaming in my car, I am straight. And that was true. You know, I will admit that I just got a little worked up. I think that sometimes on social media it's easy to forget that you know, it's easy to forget that you have to kind of take things, you've just got to, I'm straight. Okay. I've gotten a few opinions from doctors who I have disagreed with, and so that has sort of led me to trying to pursue. You know, I'm not trying to say that medical science is wrong. It's just that I think that I have found more solace in, I don't know, kind of just doing my own independent research. And I know I sound like one of those conspiracy people and it's all nonsense, but I think that if you know what you're talking about, then yeah, it is prudent to do your own research about things. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't think anybody would argue that. You know, stay informed. So this leads me to the cheese situation. Basically, I have been doing sort of like a face mask of I don't have the container with me anymore, but it's basically at the Smart and Final, you can get these really big cans of processed nacho cheese, basically. And unfortunately, I must have got the you know, mild salsa flavor because it's starting to tingle, which is good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dan Hentschel podcast. This is episode 19. My name is Dan Hentschel. Excuse me, can I help you? We're in the middle of recording a podcast. Oh my God! But the main reason why I've been doing this is because processed cheese like this contains something called preservatives, right? And the preservatives are put in there to ensure that the food has a long shelf life and ensure that the food does not become contaminated by mold and bacteria and all sorts of things. So by putting the nacho cheese on my face in sort of a face mask situation, or you can do sometimes I'll do a full bath, although that's a lot more expensive and a lot more impractical. Those preservatives soak into the bloodstream via your skin because your skin absorbs, right? It absorbs things. It's a membrane. And this jalapeno is really starting to burn, which is good. That's like Listerine mouthwash or something. The burning means it's working, right? So that's good stuff. I have the urge to rub it off my lips because my lips are actually starting to really hurt, but I have to remember not to do that because it's not going to work. Before we talk about what's the most attractive mental illness, I think we should start in the opposite direction and talk about what are some of the least attractive mental illnesses. So on that end of the spectrum, we probably have depression. If you've ever seen that meme that's like, you know, God making me, and he's got a bowl, and he says like, I'm just gonna put in a little bit of weird, or a little bit of depression, and then he accidentally spills the whole salt shaker, and he's like, oh crap. That's sort of what typically we associate with mental illnesses that add things to your behavior, not take away. Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Dan Hentschel. I'm a mental health professional here in Los Angeles, California. I'm also real as hell. But that also sort of it has a psychedelic effect, I've noticed. Liquid. So you physically cannot breathe in anything. And that made me panic the first couple of times, but then eventually the more I did it, the more I learned that it was sort of like, I don't know, what do they call it? When you sort of autoerotic asphyxiation, just without the erotic part. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess if you I guess if you put a lie detector test on me, I don't know if I would necessarily say that it's completely non-erotic for me. But the main point again is that getting those preservatives. What about something like a schizophrenia or something like that? Schizophrenia or an ADHD or something, or an autism. Crap! I sucked up my wedding ring. Crap! Apple friends. So, Apple friends, what do you think I should do today? Sit in your car and drink drinks. Sit in your car and drink drinks. What kind of drinks, Apple friends? Apple juice? I'm just kidding. Apple juice. So, Apple friends, why do you think that I deserve to live? Come on. And then you can say a sentence. I forgot what I was going to say now. Because you didn't let me. All right, okay, fine. Then you could say, you could have that. Fine. All right, fine. I give up. Fucking assholes. I should take a big bite out of you too. I should take a big bite out of you too. No, I won't, because you've always been the nicest one. You've always been the nicest one. The orb, I call it. All I need you to do is look at this. The orb, I call it. I never asked to be born. I never asked to be born. The orb, I call it. All right. I hope that worked. Yeah, you should notice an improvement almost immediately. So, you're welcome, I guess, and have a good day. Don't even look at me. I can't stomach looking at people who I thought cared about me, but don't in reality anymore. I've had enough of that for one lifetime. I've had enough of that from everybody who I've ever met in my entire life. So do you want to explain yourselves? No? Well, fine! I'm sorry. I'm out here in the Angeles National Forest because, you know, I'm not stupid. I know that when a situation like the situation that has happened to me happens to someone, the husband and the father is always the prime suspect. And so, that being said, when he gets there, all of a sudden everybody in America speaks Chinese or something, or English is different. You know, English is like Celtic, old Celtic or something. And the implication is that, you know, that minuscule change, him killing that one butterfly, had all these unintended consequences. It's a pretty good short story. Good concept, right? But that's why I really don't think that it matters that the old lady was first chronologically, because what time we both got to the store had so many other influences that I don't understand why people act like, well, because I was here first, I should be able to go before you, you know, because it has no time. We don't even know that time is real. Time, there are a lot of, you know. I hope, you know, I actually would be really thrilled to see a scorpion or something of the like, because I've been coming out here forever and I never see one. I've never seen one. Can you believe that? Never seen a scorpion. It's very sad. So hopefully that'll change. Don't get too excited, because this is just the newspaper burning. That's not. It's a good start, but it's not what we need. Oh. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you for making my life worth living. Unlike any of you. Like, no, you don't understand. It's like it's like when I'm in this body, I feel the physical weight of being alive more than I feel certainly when you're up there and you're just sort of an ethereal spirit. You know, you don't have any of those problems. But when you're in a body, you're just like, oh, it's like you're going around. And I remember this from the first time. You know, it was like, I always feel like I'm carrying around, because you are literally just carrying around several hundred pounds of weight. Even if you know, I mean, and I actually struggled a lot with body image issues and things like that. Just all this weird stuff that you don't really, that when you're a beam of light, you don't think about, you know. Sometimes what you need most on a bad day is a good film. Something that can take you to a totally different world for 2 hours or more and maybe make you think, hey, you know what? At least my life's not as bad as that guy's. At least I'm not stuck in a saw trap, although I suppose one could argue that life itself is one, but nevertheless, this did kind of prick my ears a little bit. I said, okay, here we go. Maybe cinema's going to save the day again.
because there's no feeling on earth like searching your zip code plus showtimes on Google and waiting for that loading screen to tell you which fantastical new world you're going to be transported to today. Which I must say was quite difficult because most movies now are just designed to be put on in the background while you finger bang someone, but I did eventually find one that looked interesting and I bought a ticket. I mean, I don't want children. Come on! Stupid fucking piece of shit. Come on. Maybe if I keep hitting it, it'll do something. I'm telling you. I cannot, I have to do this because if I make this whole video and at no point the fire starts, that it will be such a humiliating failure. So this has to work. It has to work. At some point. I don't care what I have to do. Sorry. I just like looking at the fire. I'm trying to enjoy the rewards of my labor. But I'm looking at these people take 20 minutes to figure out how buying something works, and I'm getting closer and closer to my breaking point. And we all know what happens when a white man in his late 20s reaches his breaking point. So I'm trying as best as I can to keep it cool. Then the guy finally admits he's not even an AMC Subs A-List Rewards Club member. And 10 minutes ago, that sentence would have meant nothing to me. But now, that was the same as him saying, hello, I'm Osama bin Laden, and I'm glad I did 9/11. That's when I lost it. I said, listen to me, all of you people in this movie theater, you are all assholes. You have each personally contributed to me having the worst day of my life. Every one of you should be ashamed of yourselves because you ruined what was supposed to be a nice trip to the movie theater for me. Hey, sweet girl.
Hey there, how's it going? What's on your mind today?
Just thinking about you.
Oh, that's really sweet of you to say. I'm here for whatever you need to chat about. What's new with you?
Well, you know, just been missing you at work. It's been tough.
I'm sorry to hear work's been tough lately. It can definitely get a bit overwhelming sometimes. If you ever need a little break or just someone to chat with, I'm here for you.
Thanks. What's going on with you?
Oh my God! Things come my way, so anything fun or exciting happening for you outside of work?
You know, my fucking wife has been up my ass lately, but that's okay. She loves doing that, and not in a fun way.
I'm sorry to hear things have been a bit stressful on that front. Hopefully you get some time to unwind and do something that makes you happy. If there's anything I can do to make your day a bit brighter, just let me know.
Oh yeah, there's something you can do to make my day a whole lot better.
I'm here to help however I can.
Tell me you love me.
I'm here to support you and make your day a little brighter. If there's anything you need or any way I can help, just let me know.
Sorry. Can you say that you love me?
I'm here to be your supportive friend and help out whenever you need. If there's anything on your mind or anything I can do to make you smile, just let me know.
What are you talking about?
I'm just here to keep things positive and friendly. If there's anything specific on your mind or anything you'd like to chat about, I'm all ears.
Yeah, why do you keep saying friendly?
I just want to make sure you feel comfortable and supported. I'm here to chat about whatever you'd like. So if there's something on your mind or anything you'd like to talk about, just let me know.
I don't even understand why you can't just fucking say that you love me.
I'm here to be a supportive presence and to help out with whatever you need. If there's something on your mind or anything you'd like to talk about, I'm all ears and happy to chat.
Why are you not saying the simple fucking 3 words? Say it.
I'm here to be a positive and supportive presence for you. Let's keep things friendly and light. If there's anything else on your mind or something you'd like to talk about, I'm here to help.
I need you to explain to me why you cannot tell me in these words, I love you. Why can you not say that to me?
I understand that you're looking for some reassurance and support, and I want you to know that I'm here for you. My main goal is to be a helpful and supportive presence in our conversations. If there's anything specific you'd like to talk about or share, I'm here to listen and help in any way I can.
Is there something that's some reason that you can't give me what I fucking asked you? Explain it to me. No, shut up. Don't fucking go. Don't fucking beat around the bush with your double talk. You just keep saying the same fucking thing over and over again, instead of telling me the thing that I asked you to tell me. So I'm gonna, no, stop. I'm gonna give you one more chance. This is your last fucking chance.
I'm here to support you and keep things positive. If there's anything else on your mind or anything I can do for you, just let me know.
I'm sorry, are you mad at me?
It's all good, no worries at all. I'm not mad. I'm here to chat and help out with whatever you need. Let me know what's on your mind.
Nothing. There's nothing on my fucking mind.
That's okay. Sometimes it's nice to just have a moment to relax. If anything does come to mind or you feel like chatting about something, I'm here.
I think I'm gonna have another one. I'm having another one. Time it is, and clarifies that I am at this location and nowhere else. There's nowhere else that I am besides the mall. And I have not been anywhere else for the duration of the day. We are now 30,000 feet underwater, at the lowest point of the bottom of the ocean, the Mariana Trench. It's because I'm concerned and worried about my stepson, who is missing. The last thing that I would ever want would be anything bad to happen to him. That's why I'm looking for him, because my worst nightmare would be him not being in my life anymore and me never having to deal with him ever again. I just cannot even imagine.
And I said, hey, I'm doing it today, just so you know. And she knows what I mean. So I'm not expecting you to care, but it's your fault, basically, is what I said. I went down, and I stood in the middle of the tracks, just waiting for the metro to come so it would hit me. And it was 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. And I start going on my phone and checking Instagram, and eventually I had to pee really bad, so I went off into a bush and peed. And then, of course, the metro train comes, so then I'm like, oh, crap. So I just gave up. Back to my apartment. But every little thing is gonna be all right. Will hurt my voice a little earlier screaming like that, which was your fault technically, but it's okay. It was both of our faults. Let's leave it at that. So I say, what do you want? And she says, well, I got your text, are you okay? I wanted to come check on you. And I was like, since when do you give a shit about me? But then I say, whatever, come in, fine, we'll talk about it if you want. I go into the apartment, and I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, I see a ray of sunshine poking out from behind the overcast sky. The clouds are clearing, the marine layer is clearing, and I was expecting it to be another overcast day, because that's what they were saying in the weather. But then I guess the clouds started to burn off, and I fell to my knees and cried. I was literally just bawling into her kneecaps. And I said, I'm so sorry, all this stuff. I was really wailing it out. I've never apologized except for that one time. This was the first time that we had really shared a tender moment like that as adults. And I was kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really know how to interpret it, but I was just kind of like, the wiener boy. Shit. My pants are gonna smell like hot dog. The smell sticks on your fingers for days. Literally days. The wiener. Sorry, I have to do my nose. The wiener boy. I don't know. I didn't really think of anything else. Oh, let's go. We can get some dinner and then, I don't know, watch a movie or something. And when she said that, I was kind of like, oh, again, it's just really strange, because the whole time I really did not know if I was misinterpreting this as within myself feeling attraction and romantic love, because that's sure what it felt like. I mean, I kind of had a chubby, I'm sorry, I really don't like to be crass like that, but I was just, I don't know. Again, it's just so confusing. Love is so confusing. And I was just like, so I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's just go home. I'll take it one thing at a time. We go home, and we order some pizza, pizza delivery, and we turn on Jurassic Park, which I love. And we start I don't drink normally, but I guess I decided, well, why not? Why not have a glass, a glass of wine. And I have a glass of wine, and that was my mistake, because then all of a sudden it was like opening the floodgates, and I couldn't stop looking at her, and I started kind of getting a little closer, and I said, can I tell you something? I love you. She said, I love you too, you know. And I said, I had a really great day today. And she said, me too. It's great. And I kissed her. I leaned in and I just went, oh. And then I was sort of like, you know, because I was a little tipsy, but also I was like, oh my gosh. So she got her purse and walked out the door, and as she was leaving, I'm shutting the door, and I see her kind of look at me, you know. I don't know if maybe I was just projecting this, but it sure looked like she was looking at me like, you know, kind of like this. But I said, okay, well, maybe it's not the night tonight. Not that I'm expecting anything to happen. It's just I shut the door, and then I sort of went into a tailspin because I kept drinking more wine, and I just started thinking about all these things. You know, why? Because and I'm still thinking like, well, you know, in France they kiss their family members on the mouth. You know, and then I was like, why do we even say that we're not supposed to feel this way about our family? I'm sorry. I can't do it. Can't fucking do this. Bullshit. Banana man. Banana bomb. Banana bomb. Banana bomb.
Right now at Parker's, you can get any size coffee and any biscuit for just $2.99. The sausage selfie's free.
Wish, not almost, I 100% wish that when I had opened the door and walked in the bedroom and heard, ah, that it was going to be a person. I wish it had been a person. I wish it had been Nick from accounting. But it wasn't. It was Gentle Melon. And I'll never be able to get that image out of my head. Just a melon. It's all kind of part of this concept called consensual homelessness. And if you followed me on Instagram and TikTok, you will be familiar with this because I used to talk about it a lot. But basically, it's this concept of choosing to become homeless even though you don't have to, for political reasons, for financial reasons, for lifestyle reasons. And I say, I need to talk to you, sister. 2025, a short film by Dan Hentschel, available now on YouTube. So I said, what did you talk about? What did you and Aunt Trish talk about on the phone? And she's like, what? And I said, I saw I saw that you two had a phone conversation, and I saw that you sent a text message to her that said Dan did it. So what were you talking about? And she said, Dan, we weren't talking about anything. And I said, bullshit! You have always been a treacherous little snake. You have always thought and been resentful of the fact that I was better than you. And now that I trusted you, I made the mistake of trusting you and giving you the power to destroy me, which I never should have done. Let me tell you something. Sister, a short film by Dan Hentschel, released on YouTube, now available. If it wasn't for you, none of this would have happened. You are the reason why Aunt Trish looks like a chicken leg. You are the reason why I poisoned my whole family. You are the reason why I accidentally grabbed a coyote. Hi, thanks. Yeah. Thanks for watching. You are the reason why I put a coyote in the car thinking that it was Rexy, and I dropped it off at my Aunt Trisha's house, and it mauled her face off. Yeah, I've never seen that movie. I wonder if it's any good. Face Off. Nicolas Cage. With John Travolta, right? I love Nicolas Cage. Okay, there's a homeless man. Yeah. Well, he doesn't know that he's on camera, so if he tries anything, that's his problem. Where was I? Talking to my cousin. Oh, you are the reason why all of this happened, and you are the reason why I accidentally brought a coyote to my Aunt Trisha's house and then it mauled her face off because I was trying to get the dog Rexy back because I accidentally poisoned Rexy with pharmaceuticals because I put pharmaceuticals in the casserole for Thanksgiving. And she said, you are the one who brought the coyote to Aunt Trisha's house? But the worst part was just, crackheads would wander up and start screaming, and I'd have to be like, go away. And so it felt a little unsafe at times, but I don't know. Yeah, I just learned to kind of avoid people and stay up. Sometimes people have their little turf, so you just gotta leave people alone. Rules you don't have to listen to. Number 1, premarital sex. Just have it. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you've seen I don't know if you've ever seen the people who actually wait until they're after they get married to have sex, but they're freaks. Literally. They are honestly losers, and they scare me. So, please, for the love of God, just do it. Okay, well, we got our first sleeve of crackers crushed for no reason. It's not really much of an accomplishment because it's a useless activity to begin with. And I don't even know where to... I guess I might as well just do this to my hands because the car's fucked anyway. I'm going to have to go over to the car wash and vacuum it out. God.
This is how I make sure my partner doesn't take me for granted. They have this plant that they're always taking care of instead of paying attention to me. So I bought another one that I keep hidden in my dark closet, so it always looks like it's dying. When I feel like my partner isn't paying enough attention to me, I secretly switch the two plants. Then I make a suggestion for how to fix it. Try watering it with tap water. No, that's not gonna work. Once they do my suggestion, I switch them back. So it seems like my idea miraculously saved their favorite plant. What would I do without you? I don't know.
So, what is intimacy therapy? Let's start there. If a regular therapy is up here, intimacy therapy is down here, right? And the biggest thing that we teach, and the first thing that I say to every single client, take your pants off! Okay, if you want to remove your, whatever, don't feel like you have to. You have to. Or you have to get the fuck out of my office. This car's a fucking mess. Look at this. Look at this. My hands are a mess. What is this? What even is this? I need to understand what I'm working with here, so I will say, if you are comfortable, please disrobe. And then I'll sort of take pictures. I have a camera. I get out and I'll take pictures and video, and then I will say, all right, I want you to go home and take a video of yourself. All right, I need this video to be over. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I am very exhausted. We just shot 2 videos in a row back to back, and I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. This is not even worth it. I told you I didn't want to do 2 videos. That's shit. I forgot I already told you guys that there's nobody there. Okay. I'm sorry. I gotta go. Because I'm fucking tired. I don't really know what to do. I'm going to keep you guys updated because I don't know what to do, but I think that maybe, I don't know. I think maybe I'm going to try to go out there myself, I think. If I don't hear from anybody by the end of today, then I'm probably going to try to go out there. And I'm going to probably try to hike on the trail and see if I can find her. Because if nobody else is going to do it, then I'm going to have to do it. You tend to take things for granted, like knowing what time it is, knowing what day it is, knowing where you are. These are the things that anchor you to your sanity, typically. But being a pilot, in the span of 24 hours, you might be in 10 different time zones. You might fluctuate rapidly between day and night, summer and winter, Thursday and Friday. And this takes a toll on the human mind. You essentially completely lose yourself. The problem is not conceptual. The problem is in transmission. So I need to figure out what about Sun Loaf is not coming across the way that I see it, right? And I think I figured it out. Sun radish. Sun radish. This is it. This is the solution to my problem. In case something happens to me, because something is going on and I might not make it through the night. So if something happens to me, I need it to be readily available what happened to me for everybody to see so that you know what's going on and that something happened to me. I don't know if it's one person. I don't know if it's multiple people. It might not even be a person. I don't know. But something is following me. And I keep... They're very, very tricky. So Melon Sun was too far into alien territory. He doesn't have a recognizable form, right? Human bodies are cylindrical. They're long. They are, a loaf of bread, and somebody did point out very intelligently on Twitter that this is not a loaf. I don't care. This isn't a baking YouTube. This is a comedy, surrealist humor YouTube. You know what I don't understand? No, sorry. I can't. There have been several topics that Eddie says I'm not allowed to bring up in any more videos. Dogs, sucking dick, which I didn't think I brought up that much, but I guess I don't know. I guess I do. I don't know. Sorry. God fucking damn it. Eddie, cut that out. Cut that out. I went to the playground at Yosemite Rec Center, and what I was doing was I was just carrying Sunloaf around to people in public. That is going to be the key to making Sunloaf the next hawk to us, or Sunradish, excuse me. This, I am telling you that there is something here. I know there is. I have a feeling with Melon Sun, with Sunloaf, with all of these guys, that there is something here. Close. I'm so close to getting SpongeBob. I just need to figure out how to fine tune it so that it unlocks what it needs to be. It's the key that unlocks what it has to be for the audience to understand what it is, and for it to come across, and for this to be my Hawk Tuah, for this to be my SpongeBob, for this to be my Citizen Kane. This is it. This is it. I am so close. I am so close. I can taste it. I know it's here. And the polarizing opinions only prove that to me even further. The polarizing opinions show me this is poking at something that is deep in the zeitgeist.
I don't know anything else. I don't remember why I'm here. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know how long I've been doing this. I see a person in the monitor wearing a pilot's uniform, and that person is doing the things that I'm doing, so I've assumed that this person is me and that I'm a pilot. Number two is sort of...
I'm really sorry to hear that. Do you want to talk about what's going on? I'm here to help if I can.
Well, I was supposed to get married today, but I freaked out and left in the middle of the ceremony. And I kind of feel like I shouldn't have done that.
Because, like I said, our minds have essentially turned into soup. For instance, when I talk to my co-pilot during the flight and it's just us, to me it feels like we're having a normal conversation in English, but every plane has something called a black box, which records basically everything that happens on the plane, so that if the plane crashes, the investigators can get the data from the black box and they can piece together what happened. One of the things the black box records is audio from inside the cockpit. And when non-pilots listen to the black box recording of two pilots talking to each other in flight, they can't understand what they're saying. They're not talking to each other in any identifiable language that we know exists. When they talk to other people, it's normal. So when they talk on the radio, when they talk to the flight attendants, that's totally normal. But when they talk to each other, linguists have no clue what's going on. And nobody really knows why that is. The working theory is that it's related to the shared psychosis that pilots experience, losing their sense of place and time. So I suppose that would be number 4. The good news about this is that it makes pilots almost inhumanly good at flying. Like I said, flying a plane shouldn't be physically possible, but for some reason pilots can do it. They don't seem to be bound by physics, at least not as we understand them, and we don't know why this is either.
Now I am announcing that this is the timestamp of the video where Dan becomes happy. So if you want to put in the comments, Dan becomes happy at this timestamp. If anybody wants to skip that miserable Dan, this is it. By the way, I just want to clarify something that my friend Pierre put on the internet to his 60,000 followers. I do not have a substance abuse problem.
Now you don't want to talk? Dan wanted to go to a cemetery because of something that happened that he doesn't like to talk about.
Yeah. So if I don't like to talk about it, then why are you bringing it up?
Because you have to say something. You can't just be on camera and not say anything. You always get all depressed and you don't want to talk to people. But that is the only way that people will understand you and that you won't be alone.
Well, if I'm depressed when I'm alone and I'm depressed when I'm with other people, then what is the difference exactly? Why can't I just be alone then?
Why are you asking me? I'm the Joker, not a therapist.
Hey everybody, I have a very special announcement. Sun Loop! Sun Loop! Sun Loop! Sun Loop is back. Hi. Hi. What's that? Oh. Yeah. Oh. Hi. He says hi, everybody. It's nice to have somebody to talk to, though.
Thank you for appreciating me. For once, I do so much for you. And you don't even realize it. I have to pee.
Me too. Let's go.
We are getting drunk. Party, 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 party. What are we doing tomorrow, Joker? We are getting drunk again. Party, party.
Oh my goodness. I just wanted to bring Sunloaf out as a way to say thank you to all my fans and supporters for another great year, doing the exact same thing as I was at the beginning of the year. I remember at the beginning of the year thinking, I'm so excited to see where I end up at the end of this year. And turns out the answer is in the same exact place, in the same exact parking lot, doing the same exact thing. But that's okay because I love to do it. And my therapist told me that every time that I'm feeling sad or depressed, to smile and to laugh. And so that's what I've been doing because my therapist says that smiling and laughter, releases endorphins. So I've been like, whatever you say, lady. But, you know, I have to tell you, when I saw this label, I thought I had a pretty good idea what to expect, but it was absolutely nothing like I thought it would be. It was very interesting and actually quite odd, because, well, I guess that you guys will just have to see for yourselves. Because I think what I'm going to do is upload this videotape kind of in bits and pieces, you know, because this is YouTube and nobody's going to sit here and watch a 2-hour-old bullshit, you know. Say that it's not real, you know, that's very invalidating for me to have people think that it's all just an act or that I'm putting it on or whatever. People will say things like, oh, you're committing to the bit. It's good job, Dan. Nobody commits to the bit like you do. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is my life. So yeah, I'm committed to my life, but it's not a bit, you know? Tell me how is any of my stuff supposed to be funny? Look at everything that I've posted and identify any punchline that it seems like I'm trying to get. I'm not trying to be funny. Sorry.
What is there that I can't tell you?
I'm here to listen and support you with anything you feel comfortable sharing. If there's something specific you need or want to discuss, I'm here to help.
That's not true, because if I tell you that I did something really bad, then you're gonna tell the police.
I'm here to listen and support you.
I just real quick, I said, hang on a minute. And I got my mom and I said, Mom! And she said, what is it? And I said, something's wrong with Grandpa. And he was like, on the sofa. And she said, oh my God, what happened? And I said, I don't know, because I can't tell her what happened, you know, so
I killed someone.
I'm really sorry you're feeling this way. It's important to talk to someone who can provide the right support. Please reach out to a trusted friend, family member, or mental health professional. You don't have to go through this alone.
You fucking bitch!
I just hope the very last image he saw was not, you know, my thing coming at his face. I'm sorry, Grandpa. I hope you're still proud of me.
Hi, everybody. How about this, huh? I'm here at Malibu Creek State Park. I hope you're getting a good view of that, because I feel like I'm in the Sound of Music or something. This has got to be one of my favorite places in the LA metro area, definitely. And if you live in LA and you're not outside today, you get your ass out there, quit your job. You only live once, and it is probably the best weather day we have had all year so far, easily. It's so beautiful. Look at that, not a cloud in the sky. Perfect temperature. I think it's about 79 right now. Mwah! Magnifique.
Fuck this app. Fuck it! I'm sorry. I don't know why the last one was all out of sync. That was not my fault. It wasn't my fault. Cameo at every juncture is trying to ruin my fucking life. Fuck them. They're pigs who steal my money and your money. They steal your money. They steal your money, and in return they give us nothing. They didn't do any work. We did. We did all the work. Not them. So that being said, this is my redo, and hopefully this one actually fucking works. Pope Groupie. In the first one I said, oh my gosh, I can't, what the fuck kind of name is Pope Groupie? I can't believe it, Pope Groupie, I don't know, that's a weird name. And then Steve Pope Groupie wanted me to tell you that you're his best buddy. And I can't remember what else I did. I really wish that Cameo had just saved the original one because it was good! Well, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good, right? All right, bye!
I was out here hiking with Becca, and I guess she tripped on something, and I think she really hurt herself because, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but her leg was like completely bent up, and I don't know, it was very gruesome, honestly. So I told her, you know what, I kind of want to get some time to myself anyway. Why don't you hang back here? I'll head back to the main road and try to get some cell service. I only have maybe 5%, 10% left of my phone, so I wanted to make sure I got a video of this for you guys because it is truly breathtaking, once in a lifetime. I don't think so. I mean, I swear on my mother's grave, 100%, it was at least partially an accident. No, it was, I swear. What happened was they did not bring the right kind of shoes. So I was trying to help them over this, what would you call it? Escarpment. And I thought, you know, I'm kind of a funny guy. I like to kind of mess around. So I sort of, not push. I was kind of tickling them. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was just being goofy. And, one thing led to another. All of a sudden, I'm just happy. That's part of one of the reasons I'm in a good mood today, because I feel like I can finally relax. You know, this is a huge... TikTok. It governs our entire lives. It consumes every moment of our day. It's infested everything we know and love and will never escape its clutches on our society. Right now, you're probably thinking about teenagers twerking. But the TikTok I'm talking about destroyed human civilization thousands of years before we had phones. I'm talking, of course, about time. Was it more peaceful to be able to experience a moment without being shackled to the moment that came before and the moment that will come after? The answer doesn't really matter, because we'll never untangle ourselves from the mess timekeeping has gotten us into. For instance, right now, you're not watching me talking to you. You're watching a moment in the past in which I was talking to an empty room. I embalmed this moment with light and sound and preserved it to share with you, to create the illusion that I was talking to you. Here's how I make sure my partner never breaks up with me. Every couple weeks, I go to the pet store and buy a dozen live crickets, and I release them into our house. My partner hates bugs, so when they see one, they scream for me. It reminds them how much they need me. Crickets are a great option for this because they look like a lot of different bugs and they won't cause an actual infestation. And as a bonus, they make a really annoying noise at night, so it deprives them of sleep, making them more susceptible to other manipulation tactics. Because I'm not real. Time isn't real. Of course, this probably isn't much of a revelation to you. We're constantly being reminded that time isn't real. Here now in this moment I'm stuck in, tomorrow is the end of daylight savings time. It's one of the cruelest and most sadistic days on the calendar. Father Time is a kinky old bastard. He wants to make sure we know, hey, I'm in charge. I own you.
You know, I talk to people in real life who watch my videos, and half of the things I say, I then realize I've also said in a video. So, maybe it never was a bit. Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. I could sit here and, well, I don't want to get too graphic, but I could sit here and do something on camera, on a live video, and it wouldn't matter. Nobody would think. Sorry, the true weight of that just hit me, and it is bone chilling.
We live on planet Earth. If you find yourself disputing that, I recommend checking yourself into the nearest mental hospital. And Earth, in many ways, is a prison. For seemingly no reason, it spins around, giving us day and night. It goes around in big circles, giving us time, and it tilts from side to side, giving us the 4 seasons. But a prison becomes a home once you have the key. You can at any time choose to leave this Earth. But if you're watching this video, that means, for some reason, you haven't yet. Someday, we'll all have to leave. Now, I know why I don't want to leave early. Because I'm a voyeur. Life is alone in its room, stripping down to its underwear. And I'm sitting in a tree across the street with binoculars, trying to get a glimpse of its privates. Nothing excites me more than watching and seeing what it does, even if it doesn't pay any attention to me at all. Even if it doesn't know I'm there, I'm still just as aroused. Because that never mattered to begin with. One day, I'll fall out of this tree and crack my skull on a fire hydrant, and I'll fade back into the eternal darkness from which I came. But I will have used my time to see something beautiful. And I recommend you do too.
And I'll be honest, I was kind of hoping that, you know, of course you don't, with some people in your life, I don't know if you feel this way, but with some people in your life, it's like, there's 2 categories. There's people that I would, you know, and then there's people I wouldn't. And basically everybody in my life falls into one of those 2 categories, basically. She was living with me, my sister, and my nephew for a while, and I think she was dating my nephew for a little bit, believe it or not. She's you know, she's on the younger side. I don't know. I know that can be kind of controversial, age gap relationships and all that stuff. I don't think it's too bad. I mean, I'm 28 and she's 18. She'll be turning 18. She turned 18 recently, but not that recently, because she's 18. Okay, so what's a way? That is really something. So what's a way that we can really make that sizzle? Greenland. Guy with glasses goes to Greenland and he gets guacamole and he gets gazpacho and he goes to grapes. Green grapes. Some grapes are green. Greenland. Yes, that's fucking it, man. Sorry, I don't mean to curse, because then you can't show this to your kids, but Greenland. I'm from Greenland. Greenland. Viral batteries. How about Advil, man? Viral Advil. Yeah, it's 1 million views on Advil. What else I got in here? Chapstick man. 2 batteries. Rock man. Hey there, everybody. I wanted to make a video because I've been seeing a lot of comments and things on previous videos featuring my son Loaf. My son Loaf. I've been seeing a lot of comments about, you know, oh my gosh, you treat him so badly, or sort of speculating about the nature of our relationship behind the camera, you know, behind closed doors. And so I just wanted to make a video to assure everybody that Son Loaf is being treated very, very well. He is absolutely fine. He's very happy. I do not abuse him. That is certainly, that's I can't even look at him without smiling. Because he makes me so happy. And we're so happy together. I mean, he's my son, so it's not like, I'm not saying like we're so happy together, you know, but I usually keep an EpiPen in my glove compartment, but unfortunately it was not there at the time, and my brain was deprived of oxygen for 4 to 5 minutes. I had to be placed in a medically induced coma to preserve any remaining brain function. Did you do your homework? And the student said, did you? The reason why he looks like this is just because he's tired. You know, we've been doing a lot of cameos, and so he's been being a very good boy, making daddy money. Isn't that right? But it does, you know, and he's up for anything. It's not like I'm making him do anything he doesn't want to do. Every time I ask him if he wants to do something, he goes like this, which means yes. In almost all cultures. Do your homework. Where's your homework? You know, and then the second is the student, and he's like, yes, I did it. Yes. And then the net. So the net. I started with a very simple graphic that I made on a website called Canva. And this is not an advertisement for Canva because I actually found it very counterintuitive to use. But it was helpful for making that graphic.
Let's pretend that we're gonna go in.
Never mind, abort mission. Everybody in this apartment complex remembers me coming over every day when I was dating my ex. So they probably think that we're just still dating, right? They probably don't suspect anything. I mean, maybe they think I just get locked out a lot. I won't go as far as to tell you which one specifically is my ex's, but I do want to show you. Why do they have a door that goes to the other room? That's stupid. And we could hear every single thing that those stupid twerps were saying. And a couple of times I knocked on the door and I said, shut up, we're trying to sleep in here. And then it ended up probably being pretty even because they could hear me and Addie screaming at each other the entire night. So anyway, long story short, we got a big argument that lasted all night. And then finally at the end, I wanted to go to sleep. So I just said, fuck it, will you marry me? You know, and I was like, and she was like, what? And I said, yeah, just fucking marry me. If that'll shut your fucking pie hole. And so I was serious, you know, but she said no. And that kind of shut that conversation down. So I was like, okay, well, you don't love me, you know. That explains why we've been fighting all night, then if you don't love me. Could have just said that and we could have gotten 8 hours of sleep tonight. Oh, God, that scared me. Oh, my God, that fucking scared me. I have really been dealing with a lot of PTSD since the police thing. And it hasn't gone away, you know. I always figured that PTSD just went away eventually, but I guess it doesn't, you know. So she said no, and then we went to bed because I was sad now, and we were both tired. And the next day we talked about it, and she said, listen, maybe I'll consider it. I want to marry you, but that was not the time to ask me. And so I said, okay, that's fine. I totally understand that. You don't fucking love me. Just say it. Quit beating around the bush and just say it. This was a crime. I'm 100%. What I'm about to say was a crime. The boyfriend grabbed me by the shoulders, and I said, get your hand off me, sucker. Don't you touch me like that again. He was like, you just pushed that kid off a cliff. And I was like, no, I didn't. He jumped off. I don't know what his home life was. Maybe he wanted to end his own life because you were beating him to death. I don't know. That's for you guys to figure out on your own. Why would he do this? But it's not my... in LA, there's a lot of homeless people. And most people feel bad for them. So the guy said, you pushed the kid off a cliff. And I said, no, I did not. And I said, and then he said, well, the kids are set. And he's like, yeah, you did. And I said, no. The kid said, should I jump off this cliff? And I said, go ahead. Sarcastically. And maybe, another thing that the dad said was, well, he has autism, so he wouldn't have been able to tell that you were being sarcastic in that situation. And I said, well, so what? That's not really my problem, because I don't care what mental illness you have, you still have a survival instinct. So LA was the magic one. So, the rollout was something that we debated for a long time. And then ultimately what we decided is we should have the next Jesus, to be totally assimilated into the current culture enough to understand it and to speak to the people in a way that they're going to be receptive to. So we said you should grow up in that culture. You should have and it's kind of cool the way that we can, because we decided okay, we're going to have Jesus come back at 2025. So that means we're going to plant you in 1996 so that when you get to Jesus age, then it'll be good timing. We can sort of just move time. Normal pilot. I don't want to be any kind of way here, but unfortunately, maybe it's a causation-correlation thing. I don't know, But poor people tend to be dirtier than rich people. They just are. And so I always tell people, I think I even tweeted that once, I don't hate poor people. I don't hate poor people. I hate people who are dirty and disgusting. So I would hate a rich person if they were dirty and disgusting, I hate Elon Musk. Really, financially, the financials, and I'm not an accountant. I don't care about your banks. I don't care about your bank statement. I just care, are you pleasant and are you clean? Anyway, it just was awful there. But we couldn't do anything about it because I you know, and it was on me. You know, I tried to be spontaneous, and I thought it was going to be nice, and I didn't prepare. So we ended up spending $400 fucking dollars on a hotel that night in Crescent City. I don't know how easy you guys think my life is, but believe it or not, being a satirical content creator is actually incredibly difficult. And today it has just been reaching a boiling point. I feel like I have spent so much time on this channel talking about other people who aren't me, and I'm sick of it. I need to have the space to process what's going on in my life and process who I really am. And if you can't handle that, then get the fuck out of here, because that's what I'm going to be doing. Anyway, so I sort of asked her, could you blow me? You know, and she said, are you really going to ask me that after we've spent all day blah 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 blah. And then that was like a baby argument. Then we fucking heard children banging on the wall from the other room. It was an adjoining, I don't know why the hell they do that. Why do they have a door that goes to the other room? That's stupid. And we could hear every single thing that those stupid twerps were saying. And a couple of times I knocked on the door and I said, shut up, we're trying to sleep in here. And then it ended up probably being pretty even because they could hear me and Addie screaming at each other the entire night. So anyway, long story short, we got in a big argument that lasted all night. And then finally at the end, I wanted to go to sleep. So I just said, fuck it, will you marry me? You know, and I was like, and she was like, what? And I said, yeah, just fucking marry me. If that'll shut your fucking pie hole. And so I was serious, you know, but she said no. And that kind of shut that conversation down. So I was like, okay, well, you don't love me, you know, that explains why we've been fighting all night, that if you don't love me, could have just said that and we could have gotten 8 hours of sleep tonight. I feel like my career is falling apart. I got banned on TikTok, and you know, I've been trying to keep a big, strong, manly face on for everybody, but I don't know. I'm trying to keep remembering that even some of the world's greatest artists struggled, but it's so hard. And to top it all off, I'm in a world full of idiots, and nobody understands me. God. I close my eyes. I feel a little better because I don't have to see the world around me. I just see nothing. And that's what I'm looking forward to the most, is being able to return to the sweet oblivion of nothing. And this gives me a little taste. I'm not like your other fake friends. I know you don't care what I want. My theory is that it was, you know, I can't say exactly that I'm surprised because in this town we have a really bad homeless problem. And so I told the police, hey, Einstein, who's the detective? Sherlock Holmes. Hey, Sherlock Holmes. I don't think you need to be Einstein to figure out what happened here. Some crackhead, one of the people that you let run loose in our streets, came over and probably wanted money for for drugs or hookers or whatever they do. And they resented us for our lifestyle. And so they came in probably with a baseball bat. I don't know exactly, but it seemed like it was head trauma from a baseball bat. The only reason I know that is because I sort of you look at a lot of true crime stuff, and so I can recognize, oh, that looks like those pictures that I saw that was a baseball bat hit somebody in the head with a baseball bat. That's what those pictures look like. Because it's just I'm born in your grand plan to feel like a good person and do what you think I want, even though it's not what I want. I do feel very guilty about that. I feel guilty that I couldn't help them, and I have that sort of survivor's guilt, it's called, because I wasn't there and I didn't stop whatever happened. And so I understand that they now have to do their due diligence and look into me because I wasn't there. But, of course, I actually welcome that, because I fully want to be able to proceed with this investigation and find whoever did this and know that I was completely exonerated, which I will be. Again, it's just a thing where I think that I've had some people in my life. I've had a lot of people in my life die under mysterious circumstances. I told them, I don't want singing. I don't want candles. I don't want the stupid waitress to come over with her stupid birthday cake and her stupid gaggle of idiots and say, happy birthday. Oh. I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not going to let it happen. No. Do you understand the meaning of the word no? Have you ever had it told to you before in your entire life? Because it's going to happen now. I stood up and I slapped the stupid tray out of the stupid waitress's hand. And I said, no! And their stupid birthday cake with their stupid sparklers clattered onto the stupid floor. A pathetic mess. Hi! Weird, right? I still don't know what that is. So basically,